I almost got scammed on Facebook, and I don't want it to happen to you. So I'm gonna share with you exactly what happened so you could be aware of this and avoid these crummy scammers. And it all started with this email here. It says, Smart Passive Income with Pat Flynn, critical alert. It's critical, gotta open it and check it out. So I opened it, and here was the email with the Facebook logo. It says page violation. It says, hello, we received a report from a third party that the content you posted on your page, Smart Passive Income with Pat Flynn, infringes or otherwise violates their rights. And so this is something I've actually seen before on places like YouTube. If I'm using music that I shouldn't have or something like that, you'll see a similar sort of infringement message. And it just made me wonder, well, what did I post on Facebook that may have done that? And it made me not think about whether or not this was even true or not, because the last thing I would want to happen, which is mentioned here, is that my account would go away. So yeah, I kept reading. Then it says, okay, you need to verify your authenticity, which I was like, okay, that's a little bit iffy, but here's a link. And the link goes directly to Facebook. And so that made me feel a little bit safer, but I never click on links like this because sometimes the links are masked. It shows me one link and it actually takes me to another link. So what I did was I copy and pasted this link and went to this page. And at the top, it says appeal a page violation and your page has been scheduled for deletion. Again, very scary stuff. And immediately I'm like, no, like so many years of work was put into this page. I don't want it to be deleted. It had a case number, you know, what can I do? Appeal, a little bit more about the message. And then it asked me to put in my login email, to put in my name and page name and additional info. It never asked me for a password yet, which is why, again, I believe that maybe this was a little bit real, especially because when I looked at, again, the root domain, which oftentimes you'll go to these little phishing schemes where, and that's where they're trying to get information from you, where a website you visit looks legit, but then you look at the domain and it's just something fake or close to what's supposed to be real. This, again, looking at the top, apps.facebook.com/page issues. It was still on Facebook, which made it a little bit more believable. Now, I actually did, and this was a mistake. I put in my name, I put in my email, I put in a reason for why my page shouldn't have been deleted. Again, I was a little bit scared. That's what they do. They use scare tactics like this. And then I hit submit. And the reason I hit submit was because I was like, okay, well, they didn't ask me for my password or anything, and it's just here on Facebook, so they have information that they could have gotten from me already anyway. But when I hit submit, you then come across a prompt for, guess what? A password. And that's when I knew, because Facebook and other places like this are not going to ask you for a password for things like this. You got to be really careful. In most cases, notifications for things like copyright infringement and whatnot on Facebook are going to come in the form of a notification in the upper right-hand corner or the bell notification icon. Now, I do got to hand it to these scammers. This was one of the more well thought out, I guess, scams for phishing for passwords and information like this. Luckily, I didn't include anything and I stopped, and then my page is still around, so this is obviously fake. But the reason why I had believed that maybe this was true was because everything was hosted on Facebook. But on Facebook, people can create apps. And through these apps, you can communicate with people on Facebook. And so when I landed on this page, it looked legit because it was facebook.com/page issues. But this essentially is an app that somebody created called Page Issues that uses the same sort of formatting, language, etc. that Facebook might use to collect information, thus then being able to collect information they shouldn't, because they were able to dupe somebody in that way. And that's not cool. I think that you got to be very careful out there. Always protect your passwords. Maybe this is a reminder for you to update your passwords. And if possible, always have two-factor authentication. Now, it's funny because it is a little bit embarrassing to even have gotten this far and this close to getting duped, but I'll tell you, they're really good. They're really good. So let's be careful out there, okay? And if you have anything that's happened to you recently where maybe you've been duped or close to being duped, feel free to share it in the comments section. And I just wanted to pass this on because I don't want it to happen to you too. And it doesn't happen just on Facebook either. It can happen anywhere. So be careful, protect your passwords. And as much as we are always trying to serve people and build content and create content that's going to help people, there's always going to be other people that are going to try to tear us down. But we need to stick together to fight against this. So make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're ready, click on this video right here to move on to the next video that's going to help you in your content creation and audience building journey. Thank you so much and best of luck.